Hey, you guys, Christi Garner here, licensed marriage and family therapist. I am checking in today because I want to talk to you a little bit about how watching all of these stories on the news are affecting your brain chemistry. So I've been doing a bunch of research and writing some articles and papers on the effects of storytelling on our neurobiology. So one of the things that you might not know about me is that I'm a trauma expert. Okay, I'm trained in how trauma affects the brain and in turn how that affects our personalities and relationships. So I am really intrigued about how this kind of mass contagion of brain chemicals transfers from one person to another. And one of the ways that that happens right now, especially, is storytelling. Okay, so storytelling has kind of a long history in our culture of communicating desires or helping people to understand each other. So story is one of the ways that we learn to empathize with another person, right? They use stories in marketing to get you to buy stuff or whatever. So stories have a big effect on people all the time, and there's a lot of research about how that happens. So one of the things that lately I've been looking into is they've been monitoring people's fight or flight responses in their brain, which is the area of the brain affected by trauma or things that are, causing stress, lots of stress. So in some peace talks between Mexico and the United States, as well as between some Israel and Palestine peace talks, they've put these monitors on people's brains where they're showing that there's a fear response that happens in your brain when you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling like someone has power over you, when you're feeling hopeless, helpless. Your brain actually turns off its ability to empathize and it turns on the cortisol, which is the stress pumping, right? So that makes you less able to empathize. That makes you less able to take in someone else's story. And those neurons can actually trigger another person's neurons in the room with you to turn off their ability to empathize and turn off their brain's ability to connect, right? The trauma response turns on and says, hey, this is not one of us, this is not a good thing, like you need to stop feeling what those people are feeling, you need to protect yourself, okay? So they've shown scientifically that this happens to people when they're in high stress situations, okay? I'll link these articles down below this YouTube. Now, the other thing that they're showing is that stories can turn on your empathy, right? Stories can elicit feelings of connection, and they can elicit the oxytocin, right? So if you're listening to someone talking on a podcast like The Moth or This American Life, and it's a story and it really gets you, you start, maybe you've shed a tear, or you go like, oh, when someone's telling a story, you gasp. So that means you're in tune with that person. The system, their mirror neurons are triggering your mirror neurons to say like, oh my gosh, here's an experience we're having together, right? So the moral of the story is, if you're watching the news and you're feeling afraid and helpless and hopeless and scared and stressed out every day, those are the mirror neurons from those people affecting your brain, all right? So what I want you to do is make sure that you're taking time to also listen to those stories, talk with your friends, your family, your children, your significant other about things that make you feel good, about things that connect you to people, about things that make you feel like you can make a difference, right? So just a little public service announcement that storytelling does affect you, and what other people say can have an influence on your brain chemistry. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself by turning off the things, that make you feel a lot of stress, and that you're getting a lot of the good stuff as well, okay? All right, you guys, have a great day. Christi Garner, licensed marriage and family therapist. You can find me at online psychotherapist, psychotherapistonline.com, or here, Facebook, Christi Garner Psychotherapist, or Instagram, Hawaii Therapy Online. Thanks, you guys.